56-year-old Robert Dorgan, going by the name Roberta Esposito, was the father of a senior hockey player for North Providence High School. The violence unfolded Monday at Lynch Arena in Pawtucket during what was supposed to be a celebratory senior day for the players in the tournament. Grainy video circulating online showed the shooter walking down the aisle in the stands before suddenly opening fire, sending families and students scrambling for cover. According to multiple reports, the two people killed were the mother of Dorgan's son and according to court documents, his ex-wife Rhonda Dorgan filed for divorce. Initial paperwork cited gender reassignment surgery and personality as grounds, but those reasons were later replaced with irreconcilable differences. The divorce was finalized in June 2021, and records indicate Dorgan was living in Jacksonville, Florida, and working as a truck driver at the time. Court documents also show that years earlier, in early 2020, Dorgan had gone to North Providence Police to report that after undergoing gender reassignment surgery, his father-in-law wanted him out of the family home. Dorgan alleged his father-in-law threatened him and used derogatory language toward people. The father-in-law was charged at the time, though those charges were later dismissed. Dorgan left a footprint on X with posts including angry commentary about anti-trans rhetoric, along with pro-Nazi and white supremacist views. In the days leading up to the shooting, Dorgan had been active on social media, posting thousands of messages on X. And the night before the shooting, he responded to another user's comment about Representative Sarah McBride, writing, quote, "Keep bashing us, but do not wonder why we go berserk." Authorities continue to investigate the shooting and the events.
So that one was I got one more. 1 second. So if you guys didn't see this one, let me go back to the second clip. He was busting shots in there.
He was bucking for real.
Yeah.
I saw that clip. You had that clip in the chat, right?
Yeah.
Yo, that's sad.
And they said some of the extra ones were like the ricochet because of the dome. So thoughts
Same
on this
guy?
one?
I'm sorry, same individual?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the same.
Did he kill himself after?
Yeah.
I want to know what the gender affirmation process entails. Aside from giving them meds to take, do they sit down and counsel these people and let them know, look, you're going to stumble across some challenges. Not everybody's going to like you, I feel like the transgender population, they, I think you guys were talking about this, your first or second episode?
Yeah.
But why are they so angry?
Nice way to put it. So let me see if I could get it right. I'm trying to think why would they be angry? And that's your question. I'm trying to put myself in why would they do something like this? Is not being accepted, but when I think about it more, it's more I heard someone say this, right? For those individuals that transition and they make it this far, right? It doesn't show, well, I don't want to go into brain, so I'm picking my words here, guys. I'm picking my words very carefully because it could be misconstrued. So if they could do this, that means they could have done anything else with their lives because they followed through on this, right? So if someone is this committed, that means this individual could have done anything in life because, hey, they transform into something they weren't.
Yeah.
So I had to choose my words carefully, not to say it in a way that, so, but with that being said, this person could have been greatness in life, but they chose to, whatever their choice was is their choice. I don't question that. So once you make a decision like this, even to say that it's not society, it ain't my business to say what is acceptance. You get what I'm trying to say? So even though it's like you're going against the grain, and even though you go against the grain, you're still not going to be accepted. So in the sense of people not going to see you the way they want to see you. That's what I'm talking about with acceptance. So I got to be very clear, right? So that's my thought. I think it's acceptance. Accepting.
Well, you got to think about it. If you're going to have the surgery, somebody already don't like you, you know? So then once you have the surgery, you know, it's probably not what they expected it to be.
I feel like it's a never-ending identity crisis.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm sure none of these people get therapy. I'm sure that is not.
Well, that was part of my question. What does the gender affirmation process entail? Do they just give them these hormones? You know, do they get the surgery? Do people talk to them? Do people really sit them down and help them decide, you know, is this the right choice for you?
Well, let me add to what you're going to say, right? I think the situation it was more of a money situation, right? Because once you bring, like you said, the affirmation process, it's a whole bunch of counseling, and you're surrounding yourself with a whole bunch of group of people to let you fit into that unit, right? And it's all money making, right? You got to remember, they got to have the money for the surgery. They need the counselors. They need all of these people are in that bubble, are helping them to get through this process, and it's all money. So if you're calling me and we could get as much people to transition, right, for the ones that want to transition of age, right, now I start to have more therapeutical help to help this person. So I'm opening more businesses and more facilities. So it's like this: you come a normal patient with a number. It's no longer about, am I supporting this patient to what they fully need? Am I helping this patient go through this process of this medical? So, like when we go to the doctor don't know your name. You know what I'm saying? They read it. What's up, Winston? How you doing? Your back's up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't really care. Well, I can't say that. I can't say they don't.
I've had some good doctors, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so that's why I had to change my word. You know, I know that's your feel. I know that's your feel. So, Brandon, what you got?
I think that this all boils down to the individual, and I know we're talking about acceptance, but it's them getting right with themselves. You're born into a body that you don't feel like is the right body. You take the time, you take the money to transition into this next thing. You got to be right with yourself, because even me in my regular, well, let me not say regular, in my cisgender African-American world, I'm still going to be facing people that don't like me for whatever reason. It could be the color of my skin. It could be whatever it may be. I have to deal with that just doing what I'm doing. You're going through surgery to change who you are, or to match who you believe you are. You have to be okay with yourself. You living with your father-in-law, he don't like it, you got to deal with it. That's a you problem. And so I don't know what's going on, you know, with the ex-wife and the son, but it should never get to that point. You know, I'm not even saying mental health is okay to do something. You have to be okay with the life that you're choosing to live. You can't make it other people's problem. He did just that. This individual did just that. I don't want to misgender anybody.
So this was a question. Is there any research on this topic?
I doubt there's enough.
I was looking it up. There is types of therapy and support available.
How expensive is it? I'm curious.
Mental
health industry these days is getting, I was just listening to that on the news today, it's getting unaffordable. People are avoiding mental health help because they can't pay for it. You know, not all insurances cover it. One session, if you're going to pay out of pocket, $300 for an intake sometimes.
True.
This is true.
Right?
Mental health and I think it's two different things. I think they're different. I can't speak, so I have to kind of walk my stuff back. But I think there are different categories of mental health. You get what I'm trying to say? Because psychosis from transition should be two different, you know?
I'm pretty sure the DSM manual will spell it out, you know, and sometimes it's multiple psychiatric diagnoses that these people are dealing with. And the more psychiatric diagnoses they have, the harder it is to treat.
So that would be something for my wife, because that's what she do. So she would that would be the best person to answer that. Or
get her on the show.
Well, we got two specialists. We got two specialists.
Hold on, I want to put up a comment real quick. So that's the thing, right? We want to be politically correct. I don't want to say regular because this is my subjective opinion on things. What is regular? You know what I mean? We got to be inclusive of everybody, so it's the 0.01. Hey, there was a time that somebody wasn't trying to make somebody like me feel comfortable. So why would I do that to somebody else?
Well said. What up, Dre?
The only thing that comes to my mind, I'm sorry to get biblical on y'all, but
Good.
It's the times.
That's your
Hey, this our therapy
I was
right
waiting
here.
for somebody to say it.
Go for it.
This our therapy right here. Let it out.
so the verse that comes to my mind is love conquers a multitude of sins. I don't know if I said that right, but I got
Love conquer all.
it conquers the multitude of sins. So this person made a decision, and the people that supposed to love him unconditionally did not. Is that enough to drive a man crazy is the question. Now, not only you got society against you, now the people that you thought that would love you no matter what turn their backs on you, maybe per se. I'm not sure if that's what happened. That's
I
what it
think it
seems
is
like.
what happened. I think
Yeah.
I read somewhere that
Yeah,
one
they
of the
didn't like
sons
it
was
either.
having a graduation and
Yeah.
they asked him not to show up dressed up,
So-
and he did.
Yeah,
It
so
embarrassed the kid.
that's enough to drive a man crazy after he made a person, let me not categorize anybody, crazy that no one loves you after you made a particular decision. So if that man had love and support, not saying that they were supposed to agree with his situation, but still love him unconditionally, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Just let him show up. Let him, this is who he is right now. I'm only thinking biblically because there's no other way you can possibly deal with the situation without, medical treatment and all that. So saying somebody's crazy. Yeah. So if he would have had some type of love and support from his family instead of resentment, it probably would have went a different way. But people need love regardless to where they at, regardless to whatever situation they choose. If they don't have support, you gotta love somebody through stuff. Marriages, same thing. If you don't, you find resentment. If you don't love the person properly or through that situation, they go left. And people respond and do whatever they do when they go left. It's a sad situation. I feel and I pray for everybody in that's directly connected to that and affected by that, because without love, man, is going, everything's gonna go left. You know what I mean? You can call a person mentally ill or whatever. If that person ain't got no love, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go left.
Okay. I got a question though, but I understand fully what you're getting at, right? Because that's the premises, and I can't play devil advocate on this one. I really want to though.
Hey,
But
I'll go. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go.
Well, you got to look at this from kids' point of view. Everybody, like, all of a sudden, dad slides off the cracker.
Mm-hmm.
He's something else. You know what I'm saying? Like you can say what you want, but you got your kids, and all of a sudden, your kid's mom, your dad is mom. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know about it. It's an embarrassing situation. I'm sure they're getting dragged through the mud at school.
Mm-hmm.
Wife goes to work. Your husband is now with this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure they're hearing it. So I don't know how they found out, how he told them, how it came out. All of that stuff matters because it's quite, you can see they probably never accepted it.
Yeah.
Or if they did, they still showed him a lot of like for instance, they'll have the party and they didn't invite him and he probably paid for it. You know what I'm saying? And it's disrespectful, but at the same time, they got hit with a left hook.
More than that.
You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, daddy is now mommy. Like, that's a left hook that they ain't see coming.
It's not normal.
No, it's not.
It's not
So
normal.
I don't think anybody actually knew how to deal with it.
Mm-mm.
So when it came, they all went left, and they was like, "Listen, I can't deal with this right now." These people are getting ready to go to college, getting ready to go to.
They dealt with it the best way they knew how, and it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Now, did I see somewhere that this same person, their son shot up a black church a couple years ago.
Oh, we going down the hole tonight? We going down the rabbit hole? Let me see.
Yeah, I really think it was a black
Let me
church.
share this while you
They
look it up.
transgender challenges.
So while you were talking, P, you made me remember something. When I was at Home Depot, right?
Uh-huh.
It had a guy. He looked just like that guy in the video, right? Well, the reason I could call him a guy because when I went to the register, I went to Home Depot and I'm bringing up the stuff and I see and it was that that moment of hold on. And I had to adjust myself right quick. But he's like the guy, he said, it's okay. You could call me a guy. But, he said, I know what I am. And the dude was so cool. And I had to stop and think because every time I go to Home Depot and I seen him or her, because he told me I could call him a dude. So that's what I'm calling him. So he said, I talked to him and he said, he said, it wasn't always like this, because I just happened to speak to him because he was cool. And he explained his story to me. He had kids, he had a family and all of that stuff. And he said, this is what he always felt like. And he told me his story. I was like, cool. But he didn't have any anger.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm trying to say? So I'm thinking back, I'm like, yo, he was so kind. You know what I'm saying? This person was so kind. He was helpful. He knew about construction. He was a construction dude. And you know what I'm saying? So you needed help with lumber or whatever. He would tell you. You know what I'm saying? So he came from construction and he transitioned but he still knew his stuff. You know what I'm saying? So his qualification for what you needed help, he can help you. He just made that transition. But kindest dude ever, yo. You know what I'm saying? So I had to think about it. When you going back to your Toya question, why are they angry? I don't think all of them are angry.
No, not at all.
But it sounds like
that was my reflection. My reflection on it. Once P started talking, I'm like, damn, the dude at Home Depot, he was kind. You know what I'm saying? He had booze, he had everything. You know what I'm saying? And he tall dude. You know what I'm saying? So, but he was kind. As he said. But yeah, I would definitely say that scenario. I don't think they all have that anger issue, and I think that's what's spoiling it for the whole bunch.
But like you said, acceptance. Yes. It sounds like he accepted himself. He made it right with himself. He living his life, and that's how it should be for them. Doesn't mean it's always going to happen, but you know, he made the decision. He living with it.
I think that's the same issue that happened with this. I'm trying to look this up. I remember hearing of it.
D-Cat, what's up? Welcome back, my boy.
What up, D-Cat?
Yep. So this shooter's Pawtucket ring shooter's son set fire to black church in North Providence in 2024.
Damn.
The same son that just got pew-pew?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they from a family crazy.
Yeah.
They cray.
Because, they also said that the father, that, he was sharing the ideology of the German painter. So it sounded like just everybody in that family was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right.
What was that terminology you used?
The German painter?
German painter?
Yeah, I'm not getting us banned off nothing.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, look it up. The German painter. 1945.
Okay. All right. I never heard of that one before. You learn something every day.
Yeah, I'm keeping it PC. Like I said, I ain't saying nothing to get us out here ding,